Tonight.
Street value, if it as is around $35,000.
3 people have been charged after a major drug bust here in the border city. Plus,
it's always a little nerve-wracking your very first time sitting in that chair.
Lloydminster's new mayor and council were officially sworn in at City Hall Monday night. And Americans head to the polls today. More on the U.S. election, including what some local residents think.
This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. 2 Lloydminster residents are facing a number of trafficking and possession charges following a major drug bust in the border city. Police began investigating in September and made the arrests after witnessing what they believe to be a drug transaction on Saturday afternoon and arrested the 2 people. RCMP recovered a notable amount of drugs and cash at that time and say the drugs were packaged for street sale.
Subsequent to that, we executed a search warrant on the Alberta side of Lloydminster and recovered a significant amount of cash, just short of $8,000. In addition to that, just around 250 grams or a quarter pound of methamphetamine, another 250 grams of cocaine, both in crack and powdered form, approximately 109 fentanyl tablets, which is significant, of course. Street value, as is around $35,000. But it's important to note that that seizure included what would be considered a bulk delivery. Pieced down to the street user level, we're looking in the neighborhood of anywhere to up to $55,000 to $85,000.
65-year-old Cecil Boyles and his wife, 52-year-old Carolina Galloway, are facing many charges. They've been released on bail with conditions and will both appear in court on November 28th. A 37-year-old North Battleford resident was also arrested, and charges are pending for possession of a controlled substance. Lloydminster officially has a new mayor and city council. GERALD AALBERS and 6 councillors were sworn in at a special ceremony at City Hall on Monday night. Adam McVicker with more.
It was a packed house at City Hall. Friends and family gathered to witness Lloydminster's newest mayor and council take the oath.
It's really great to get that the process started and get that out from underneath us, I guess. It's always a little nerve-wracking your very first time sitting in that chair.
But for GERALD AALBERS, the work has already begun.
I've expressed some questions already to administration, and we will be addressing those questions. I think every every councillor has questions that they're going to want addressed, and we're going to start addressing those. And the discussion about accountability and transparency, we're going to start to dig into those very soon.
AALBERS joins a fairly rookie council. 5 out of the 6 members are newcomers to municipal government.
There's a lot of work to do. If people talk about learning curve, I say no. I say learning vertical. There's not much curve. It's get in there and get to work.
I think if you're willing to learn and you're willing to ask the questions, then the knowledge will actually come just naturally.
Luckily, the incumbent is no stranger to City Hall. Ken Baker took the oath for the 6th time and is expected to be heavily relied on for guidance.
These people can think for themselves. It's just a matter of filling them in on history on certain things, and my word to them is to take whatever I give them, digest it, do your own research, make your own decisions.
With the purchase of the Synergy Credit Union building off the table, the 2017 budget will be a major focus for this new council, but there's no shortage of priorities heading into this term.
The wastewater plant is the biggest thing on the agenda as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's an absolute must.
Now, the new mayor and council will spend this week in orientation, but it will have to be quick, though. Their first council meeting is slated for Monday. Reporting from City Hall, Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
And in our country, polls show many Canadians would vote for Hillary Clinton if given the chance. As we get down to the wire, we decided to ask people here in Lloydminster who they think is the best fit for the job in the White House.
I think personally for me, I would pick Hillary, just because Trump is a bit too extreme with his views, and I think it could cause a lot of tension in the country.
I think I would pick Trump, just because at least he's honest and tells how he feels, for the other ones hiding it.
He runs religion down, like the Roman Catholics, he run them down, and he wants to build a wall between Mexico and the United States, and he's just ignorant, that man.
Interesting, to say the least. They either have a choice between a woman president, right, or a lunatic, basically. So that's basically what they're going to go with, I guess.
So from what I gather with that answer, would you be more in favor of Hillary winning?
I think so, yeah.
And we have 2 dogs showcased for adoption in this week's pet project. Eddie is a 3-year-old lab border collie cross, and Bella is a 5-year-old lab husky cross. Here's John from the SPCA.
This handsome gent is Eddie, a 3-year-old Labrador Border Collie cross. You really won't find a sweeter dog than Eddie. He's a quiet, dignified dog who will lure you in with his gentle soul. Eddie is a very mild-mannered dog who is very intelligent. He knows his basic commands and is always attentive. Whether it's going for a long walk, going for a car ride, or just lying by your side while you watch TV, Eddie is perfectly content as long as he's near you. Eddie enjoys the company of people, whether it's big or small. He's even fond of felines too. If you are looking for a wonderful family dog that will provide you with years of unconditional love, then you just have to meet Eddie. Stop by the SPCA and say hi to him today. This big bundle of happiness is Bella, a 5-year-old Labrador Husky cross. Bella is the kind of dog who just adores people. She's always at the front of her kennel looking at you with her soft eyes, waiting for you to take her outside. Once outside, Bella just loves to run and play. For a 5-year-old, this girl is still full of energy and can go for hours. Sometimes her exuberance can get the better of her, so she can sometimes jump up. Therefore, she might be too much for the younger children. Although her breed might suggest that she would be a good farm dog, she doesn't do well with livestock. However, if you have a big acreage with no other animals, Bella would be in heaven. If you are looking for a dog that can keep up with your active lifestyle, then you just have to meet Bella. Be sure to stop by the SPCA and meet her today.
Well, for the Lloydminster Bobcats, continuing their hockey career in college is one avenue a lot of players try to take. In this week's Beyond the Boards, Drew Miller caught up with the Bobcats at their SAT exam prep classes.
Guy will start with it, he'll go in, shot, come down, this guy will spot you a puck.
To the Bobcats, the rink is their classroom, but learning systems and drills is not the only studying they have been doing as they are preparing for their SAT exams.
All these guys are coming to the age A or junior A to go to college, and they're doing their studying right now, and they write their exam December 3rd, so it's a big time for these guys and a lot of excitement.
Making sure they can get a good mark is important in getting a scholarship to continue their hockey career.
A lot of guys are taking the SAT in preparation for college hockey. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not exactly sure what the future holds, but I'd love to play college hockey someday, so I'm taking the SAT for that.
Along with being able to play hockey, having a college education is just as important to the players.
You want to have something there for, if hockey doesn't work out, you got something to come back on, and if you can get an education while playing hockey, then it's the best of both worlds. You get them both at the same time.
Even though the Bobcats will lose some of its players to college, it is something the organization takes pride in.
As 18-year-olds are just starting to get noticed, and hopefully, down the road that we can get these guys scholarships and move them on and playing in the NCAA, division. So hopefully, things will work out for all these guys. It's a long process, but it's a bright future for a lot of them too.
Drew Miller, Newcap Sports.
Every season, no matter the sport, the Lakeland Rustlers attract interest and recruits from all over the world. Rookie libero Matt Peck traveled across the world to play for the Rustlers volleyball team. Bailey Nitty has more.
Matt Peck played competitive high school volleyball in Australia, but moving on to play at the college level isn't a possibility unless you're willing to move.
We've got no college volleyball back home, so post-secondary there's no real volleyball you can play, so you go straight to playing with open men. So over here it's really nice to play with sort of people my own age, and certainly a lot faster than it is back home.
Peck's previous coach in Australia is big on sending his high school players to Canadian colleges, and that's when over 30 emails were sent to coaches all over the country. Peck felt playing for the Lakeland Rustlers was the best fit for him, and so far he's right.
I'm starting libero at the moment, which is pretty nice. It's good to get on the court straight away, and we had a pretty good start to the season, but this past weekend we got swept, which was a bit unfortunate, but I got player of the game on Saturday night, which is nice for me, but not so good for the team, unfortunately.
Right now, the team is in the bottom of the North Division standings, but they're gearing up to play back-to-back home games this weekend against the Grand Prairie Wolves, who are also in the bottom of the North. Playing at home and having a positive atmosphere is something new for Peck.
Back home in Australia, there's no concept of home or away games, so it's certainly nice to finally play in front of a crowd who's supporting you. So I'm very excited about that, and we should beat Grand Prairie. It's a team that we feel as though we're better than, so it'd be nice to just get 2 wins this weekend and set our season up.
You can watch Peck and the rest of the wrestlers on Friday night at 8 p.m. and again on Saturday at 3 p.m., both at Lakeland College. Bailey Nitty, Newcap Sports.